podcast, where it is our mission to empower you to take action in your life, relationships, and passions. Here's your host, author, artist, speaker, and entrepreneur, Rob B.F.r.e.e. Badgett.
What's up, free world? It's your boy, Rob B.F.r.e.e. Badgett. Welcome to another edition of Free Tips, hosted by your boy, Rob B.F.r.e.e. Badgett. Make sure you check us out on all social media platforms. Twitter, Made to Be Free. Facebook, Made to Be Free. Instagram, Made to Be Free. All of the platforms. Or visit my website at madetobefree.com. I appreciate all the support here with the episodes. This is episode 10. We did say we were going to have a guest. Unfortunately, that did not happen, so I do apologize. But we do got some guests coming up down the pipeline, so make sure you are tuned in to what's happening here in the free world. Okay, so let's beef it up just a little bit more. Today, I want to talk to you about what do you do when life gets hard. That's right. What do you do when life gets hard? We're still laying the foundation. We're episode 7. We're in here, so hopefully by now you know who I am and what the mission is. But what you don't know is that I've had a lot of experiences that have been challenging, to say the least. They have been very, very tough. Now, there's this person that I want to highlight as we break into the message for today, or the free tip for today. And there's this guy. You may have known him. You may have heard of him. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. His name is Mike Tyson. Now, Mike Tyson, by far, has had one of the most interesting life stories I have ever heard of. I haven't met Mike, but he has one of the most interesting stories I've ever heard of. Mike Tyson was the heavyweight champion in boxing of the world. Now, I'm not going to go through every aspect of Mike's life, but a few bullet points of Mike was the youngest heavyweight champion ever in the history of boxing, ever. And Mike was known for knocking guys out in under a minute. That's unheard of. He was knocking guys out in under a minute. And as Mike went on and made millions of dollars, Mike lost millions of dollars. Some highlights was he was married to Robin Givens for about some months. Mike went to jail for being accused of rape. Mike had a daughter who died tragically, and Mike had a substance abuse problem. And yet Mike Tyson is still here. He's just a polarizing figure for everything that he used to do. And he had this distinct voice that is Mike Tyson in every sense of the word. And I've learned a lot from watching Mike Tyson and his experiences. And one of the things that Mike said was, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Now, me personally, I've been punched in the mouth a lot of times, unfortunately. And I've learned from those experiences. They have been some very well-informed educational lessons for me. And there are 3 things that I learned from getting punched in the mouth and from life getting hard. And I want to share a story with you as we intro the first point. Some months ago, maybe years ago, I don't know when it was, but I had been going through a battle with the school system of my daughter. And you may have heard the story before, so bear with me if you have. And at this time, they had gotten to a point where they were calling either her mother or myself to pick her up all the time, almost daily, around barely at 9 o'clock in the morning. She didn't get there till 8:30, 8:25, and they were already calling for her to be escorted out of the building. And it got to a point where we were just always on edge. We were always anxious about how this was going to work out and how it was going to pan out. And this one particular day, they had decided, if you don't come and get her, this is the principal, if you don't come and get her, we're going to have her sent to the hospital because there's something wrong, and she needs to be committed and evaluated and yada, 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 all of these things. So they was like, if you don't come and get her, we're going to call the ambulance. These are threats. They're doing all these things. But as a parent, and my daughter was 7 at the time, you don't know how to respond to that. So what did I do? I ran out of the building, had to get coverage for a class. At the time I was teaching, had to get coverage for the class, and I had to leave the building. So I'm leaving the building. I run out, and it's the middle of a snowstorm, right? Snowing, it's cold, and I'm running through the parking lot. I'm looking for my car. And come to find out, my car was repoed that day. I had missed some payments, and it was repoed. And I was like, OMG. OMG. I can't believe my car has been repoed. Now, I'm panicked. I'm frantic. I'm losing it because we got to go get her. At least I had to go get her. And so a friend of mine ended up letting me use his car to go get her. And it was in that moment that I realized that I was in a real fight. So the first thing that you need to do when life gets hard, you got to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting. Now, preceding the fight, make sure you had taken the time to get in shape. Because if you're not ready for the battle, when you get punched in the mouth, you're going to go down and hit the mat. So the first thing, you got to jump in that fight, and you got to keep fighting. Get ready to fight. Don't back down from the fight, especially when it's something that is worth having on the other side of the fight. Now, in my case, it was my daughter. Now, obviously, she was worth the fight. But there have been other scenarios and occasions where it was not a daughter. It was a maybe for my name. It was for a position. It was for a goal. And life got hard in the midst of the pursuit. So I had to make a decision. It's time to fight. It's time to get in the ring, get my gloves on, and start jabbing. First thing you got to do is keep fighting. Jump in there and fight. When life gets hard, fight. Fight with all of your might. Second thing you got to do, free tip for you when life gets hard, is this. Make sure you have the right people in your corner. Make sure your team is there to support you. Now, the thing about a corner is, if you look at boxing, there are not a lot of people that are in the corner. And everybody in the corner has a job. They have a role. They have a purpose. Somebody wipes you down. There's your trainer who's in your ear. Everybody's not talking. There's one voice that commands what you need to do. Somebody rubbing your legs down. You just got your corner team. Somebody got the bucket. Somebody give you some water. You got to have the right people in your team when life gets hard, because you cannot do it alone. You cannot fight. You will not win the fight alone. You won't. So make sure that you have the right people in your corner, period, because it's going to matter. And the third thing is this. When it comes to the fight industry, let's use Mike Tyson as an example again. Mike Tyson lost a lot of money. He lost a lot of opportunities. He lost his reputation for one reason. He didn't know how to handle his business. In life, you got to be ready to handle your business, because life will come and take what is yours. And sometimes you're intertwined with personal relationships, but you got to separate the business from the personal when things get tough. What is the business that I need to handle in this situation? My car had got repoed. It was my fault. I didn't handle my business. My payments were behind. So when it went down, didn't have an argument. It was like, yep, you knew what you didn't do, what you should have did, but you didn't do it. And I had to eat that. It was disgusting. Hated it. But I had to take it. So the third thing is, when life gets hard, handle your business. You got to handle your business and do what you got to do. Keep swinging, keep fighting, keep jabbing. These moments, these scenarios, these obstacles, they are all designed to test you, to test your character, to test your integrity, and to test your stamina. If you were able to get in the ring with Mike Tyson, that meant that you made it. Now, I don't know how you got there, but you were going to be remembered for one of two things: the guy that Mike knocked out, or the guy that knocked Mike out. So when life hits you, either you will be remembered as the person that knocked life's obstacle down, or the person that was knocked down by life's obstacle. But in all things, you can do it. So I want to encourage you, take those 3 tips, chew on them for a little bit, and keep doing life. That's all for today. Be filled, revived, and empowered till we meet together again. Peace.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Free Tips. Visit us on the web at madetobefree.com and follow us on social media at madetobefree. That's all for today. Be filled, revived, and